Recorded live from their studio in Los Angeles, California, it's Brett and Alex in the Super Beard Show. This week, the news, cross of tens, 10 unread old replies, and as always, Patreon presents Fan Q&A. The date is October 7th, 2022. Support this podcast at patreon.com/superbeardbros. My name is Ted Coonrod. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 10th ever episode of Super Beard Show. That's right, I'm Alex. There's Brett.
Hello.
Ted is over there. I can see his beige pants and his lanyard. Today's episode is called Diced, Smothered, and Chunked.
I know what that means. I know what that means.
Diced, smothered, and chunked?
That's got to be tomatoes, right?
I think it's I think it's got to be tomatoes. I think you're 100% right.
From Lufa. Lufa's the one that gave us that title?
Yeah, Lufa.
Thank you very much, Lufa.
Thank you, sir. I feel like it's a perfect title.
Why's that?
Because Diced, Smothered, and Chunked, it's like you're taking things and chopping them down to little pieces and stuff like that.
That's what dicing means, yeah.
Yeah. And smothered, you're saturating things that you got going on now.
You're drowning.
You're saturating things with things that with a thing that you already made. Chunked, you're taking pieces again, but perhaps larger pieces. And that's what we're doing today, because guess what? This is a milestone episode, Brett.
10 episodes.
10. 10 episodes. This is our 10th anniversary today.
Man, we should pat ourselves on the backs.
Yeah. Listen.
Can they hear that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ted? There you go.
What if that's the only way we let Ted communicate with us?
Like a horse?
Yeah. If he likes it, he does it a lot. If he doesn't like it, he gives you one or two hits.
Start applauding or not.
Yeah. A nod would be horrible. I can't even see you. I can't even see your torso.
Yeah, you're like Nanny from Muppet Babies right now to us.
You should get some wild socks to fuck us up big time. Anyway, we're here. It's the Super Beard Show. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
The show is finally reaching that point where it's
dead.
No, when you look at the numbers, right? We had some on and off weeks and stuff, but then now that we've been pretty regular, like any 35-year-old's dream, the numbers are starting to ramp up. And so I feel like there is actually
You're saying more people are starting to listen to this show?
Yeah. The numbers are starting to finally...
What the hell's wrong with you people?
What? I don't know. I build it in Steam. I would say it's officially okay to say that we have a listenership.
Wow. So what's the number to you to have a listenership?
It's more, for me, it's more about consistency, because what was happening, if you looked at the numbers, it would go up to a couple thousand, then it dropped down, then it go up. And now we're steadily at that point where
2 people.
Every time we put out an episode,
2 people listen.
2 people listen.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Mom and Alex's mom.
Yeah. Thank you, my mom. My mom would never, she would turn the show on and turn it right off.
That's episode 11 where we have her listen to this episode.
Shout out to my dentist though, Dr. Denny. I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's listening to, but he told my mom that he's been watching my stuff and loves it.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
whoa.
I don't know what's up, but Dr. Denny, if you're out there, this one's for you, buddy.
Dr. Denny, do you think Dr. Denny is referring to Beard Bros?
I told him first because one time we were chatting about it, and his kids love Pokemon. And so we got on that because he just asked me what do you do?
Yeah.
And I was like,
and he's like, really?
Yeah.
YouTube, huh?
And so I told him about it, and I guess the story from my mom is that he went down the rabbit hole and found some more of the stuff where I say swears.
Oh, porn, yeah.
Yeah, my adult film career.
I watched that. You're a bear, man. You knock it out of the park.
If I had a film career of regular porn being posted, would you be check it out?
Of fucking course I would.
What would be the goal? You just want to see it.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
If I found that anybody I knew did or does porn, I want to see one clip. Are you kidding me?
No, you're right.
One clip.
No, you're right. You're 100%.
Ted, you're with me on this, right?
100%.
There you go.
Ted's been in a porn.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Guys, it's he was like an extra basically.
Yeah, it was called My Huge Ass Penis and Ted Had the Penis.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was attached. It was in his pocket. He stole it.
Yeah.
He was like
wooden.
It was like Igor in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He took it.
I like a Halloween burglar costume.
He snapped it right off a statue at the Museum of Fine Art.
Yeah. It was just like in Goonies.
But now let's jump into the news. That should be enough time to play the stinger that we got. So as I said, this is episode 10, our 10th anniversary.
That's not what that means.
Yeah, 10, Big 10, and Pack 10. And so instead of doing news from this year, I pulled up a list of the like big game releases of October 2012, which was 10 years ago. So let's have a look.
Can't wait.
Yeah. We can kind of give our thoughts on the release list. I think this should be good. I think there's going to be some surprises on here. Let's see. Art Academy, first week of October, Art Academy, Crossword Plus, Innocent Life, NBA 2K13.
So far we got 4 whiffs for me in terms of interest.
New Little King Story.
What the fuck? Nights into Dreams came out? Wait. Is that like a re-release?
So this is before the PS4 was out. So this is when they did all those Sega releases on all the like previous gen systems.
So it's just a port.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like
okay.
It comes with Christmas nights. It's like it's a little bit more than a port. It's like a little bit tidier than a port, but it's basically a port. It doesn't look better.
I was just wondering if like 10 years ago there'd been like a Nights into Dreams reboot or some shit that I just forgot.
Oh no, it's the same game. Yeah. Resident Evil 6.
Never played it.
Giraffe sucking a dick. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Sonic Adventure 2, Rough Trigger, The Vanocore Conspiracy. No idea what that is. War of the Roses. Hell yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit. Cave Story for 3DS. That's huge. And one of my favorite games ever, Pokemon Black and White 2 for the DS.
Man, really saving the biggins for the bottom of that list, huh?
I mean, Resident Evil 6, Cave Story, Pokemon, that's a good week.
Black and White 2 are definitely my favorite Pokemon games of all time.
Yeah, I think one of the most like inspired like RPG sequels I've ever seen. RPG sequels are kind of like a weird genre.
Can you say that again? RPG sequels.
But what I mean by RPG sequels are literally sequels, like Final Fantasy VII, or that's not a good example.
Final Fantasy X too.
Yeah, Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, direct narrative follow-up. I got you.
That's rare, but it happened. We got Coda Princess next week on 3DS. Derek the Deathfin, Doctor Who the Eternity Clock. I remember those. Dishonored. That's huge. Great video game. Fable the Journey. There was a terrible Kinect Fable game where
we're in the Kinect era. Is that what's up?
Yeah. You sit on like a bench on like a I remember that game. It was like really dumb. You like sit on a what do you call those? Stagecoach. And you like are in first person and things kind of happen sometimes. Joe Danger 2, the movie.
What a back of the box quote.
Dude,
things kind of happen sometimes.
That's fucking Peter Molyneux in a fucking nutshell right there. Things kind of happen. It will be the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Joe Danger 2, the game that was made, I believe, was the previous game before No Man's Sky from that developer. Just Dance 4, Machinarium, Naughty Bear, Point Royale. And the first XCOM.
Naughty Bear.
Yeah.
Never played it, but I remember like
the Kill Bill, like Game of Death Bear.
Did he have on the dragon suit?
If this is the game that I'm thinking of, I think it was.
Naughty Bear. Look up. Can you Google Naughty Bear for me real quick? Oh, word. Is this real? Yeah, fuck this. 10 years old. Naughty Bear, I believe, I know nothing about the game, but I believe that I had like an image of him on my Facebook because I thought it looked wonderful. Like just this surly looking bear that had like a bite taken out of his ear or something. Yeah. Okay, wait. No. Click on the one in the middle, the very middle top. That face, that was my Facebook picture for you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like for years.
It has like Wallace vibes kind of.
I didn't know anything about this game and I'm like, I relate to this fucking guy.
Yeah, Brett and I were talking about like the weirdness of modern day, how people have like weird names and like chosen call signs associated with them in a strange way. And so it's not Game of Death quite, but it's like
I got it
in the zone. The closest thing that you have to that is that I think of you as like an anthropomorphic bear.
Because of the scare bear?
Because of the scare bear and because of this fucker.
Yeah, I guess there's something about me and bears, right?
Is this real? Did they really do Kill Bill 1 and 2? No, this is fake. This is on PS5. That's fake.
Yeah, so there's like my Facebook pictures for years were like that thing, the Naughty Bear, The one where he's like mean mugging, looking like Black Mega Man in my head.
Yeah.
And the other one is the Scare Bear from Venture Brothers. Like, I guess I got a thing for like
bears,
disgruntled bears,
like badass bears.
I don't even see them as badass. I see them as like something happened to you.
Like tore up bears.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. Okay. In 1 week in 2012, Dishonored, Retro City Rampage, and XCOM Enemy Unknown all in 1 week. That's pretty crazy.
I never played the first XCOM.
Great game. I mean, both of those games are real good, but I got really into the first one over the second one.
I really want to play it. XCOM 2, another game where I've started it, I swear,
a bunch
4
of times. Yeah.
And I will finish it one day.
Yeah, you should. I mean, yeah, eventually, and everyone does. And I think everybody gets that game for like $3 at some point in your life. Dance Central 3, Doom 3 BFG edition. That was really good. I remember that. Silent Hill Book of Memories for Vita. That was a pretty good game. And Jet Set Radio for Vita. Really weird. And then 2 more weeks. Forza Horizon. The first Forza Horizon came out 10 years ago. Street Fighter Cross Tekken for Vita.
Yeah, I remember that. That was...
I played a lot of Marvel on Vita, weirdly.
I feel like there was something about the Vita edition. I think it came with all the DLC or something. I think that's what it was.
Might as well have. Like, the Vita was the most ahead of its time console that I've ever seen in my life. Like, I can't believe it came out in 2012 to go with the PS3. It's nuts. Unfinished Swan also came out that week, and Zero Escape Virtual's Last Reward. Great games. Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Liberation came out in the same week, which is crazy to me. Something called Avengers Battle for Earth for 360, which I don't even remember, which is a tie-in for the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Zone of the Enders HD collection. 10 years ago, it was already in an HD collection. Transformers Prime is a great video game. It's an okay video game. I'm not going to say it's great. And then they put out the Wii version or the Xbox and PS3 version of Toy Story Mania based on a Disneyland ride.
Yay!
Yeah, really weird to look back 10 years ago.
Shout outs to video games 10 years ago.
It makes me feel bad that was 10 years ago. It's like fucked up that Dishonored was 10 years ago.
Another game that I've started and I was enjoying. I love stealth and
yeah,
just in real life, I love sneaking up on people.
I found out that I really love watching more even than playing Dishonored, which I thought was a great game. And Deathloop's a really good game too. But like more even than playing it, I really enjoyed watching people who were like quite good at it. Just like do like their like crazy like kill runs. Remember those?
No, but I can imagine.
You'd like shoot like a fucking arrow up in the air like a minute and a half before anything else happens. Then you go do a bunch of stuff. And then the last guy, you're like, what's going to happen? And then the arrow like lands right on his head.
Wow.
Crazy shit. Crazy shit. If you take one thing away from this dumb 10 years segment that I just did, it's that you should, if you are listening to this, Google like pro Dishonored kills. Shit is incredible. Got anything for the news? What's been going on in your life? Anything you want to share with the peeps? Anything that's been on your mind?
Well, I've been reading about, let me ask you guys this. If I said the word Schrodinger's, what would you think of?
Cat.
What about you, Ted?
Cat.
Right. Everybody knows Schrodinger's cat. But like, I had to remind myself because I think I learned this fact a while ago. Forgot about it. Reminded myself of it maybe like last night.
Sure.
Schrodinger's. Oh, okay. So what do you think Schrodinger's cat refers to?
So there's like a circuit or something that's like depends on some sort of quantum circuit.
Yeah.
And the box is closed.
If someone out there is listening to this and has never heard of this, you're fucking them up right now. Not to say that you're wrong, but like so far they're like, what?
Yeah. So there's a circuit that's like quantum and there's a box that's closed. And the circuit is like it's attached to like gas or electricity or something. I don't remember exactly what it is.
Something radioactive.
It's something that like instantly kills the cat.
Radioactive.
When it deploys. And quantum stuff, and this is I believe I found out that this was wrong when I was doing a Dex episode about this at one point, but I'm just going to lay it out as I remember it. I believe that the idea is that certain quantum particles aren't one way or the other until they are observed.
Right.
And so because of that, the cat, before you open the box and observe the particles and find out whether it's dead or alive, is genuinely in a state between life or death.
Or like both.
Yeah, like it's like you're kind of like, you haven't come down on one side of that equation yet because you haven't measured it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just basically got it. Like the thought experiment having to do with quantum superimposition and shit like that. And like variable states of matter and being able to be either or both states of matter and energy and shit like that. But yeah, it's mostly a thought experiment. What I find most interesting about it is because first of all, you basically nail it, right? It has to do with like, if you put a cat in a box and put in that box like something radioactive behind like a screen, if you will.
Yeah.
And if you have something that may, like a trigger that may or may not, you know, what's the word I'm looking, like randomly, what's the word I'm looking for? Expose the cat to that deadly material. Supposedly, what most people believe is that Schrodinger's cat, the theorem or, you know, the idea states that the cat, much like certain quantum particles, are both 0 and 1 at the same time, are simultaneously on and off at the same time. The cat, and while it is unobserved in this purely obscured box, is both alive and dead at the same time.
Yeah.
Now,
there's some kind of intention to it or something.
Now, what I find most interesting about it is that has to do with what we just described.
Yeah.
Like the base theory about the particles themselves being both on and off, or there and not there, matter and not matter at the same time, the quantum stuff. That's called, I think, Copenhagen's theorem, I believe.
The like duality of quantum particles?
Kind of.
Like the idea that they don't make a decision until they're measured?
Kind of.
Okay.
Like they are both observed. Yeah. Like until they are observed by someone who is conscious, things are like in a state of quantum flux.
Yeah.
And don't get solidified in reality until they are observed. So that's like Copenhagen's theorem. But what Schrodinger was the one that came up with this analogy of the cat, right?
Right.
He was basically like, so what you're saying is with like the way that you think matter works, if I put a cat in the box and did this, the cat is both alive and dead. And a lot of the theorists at the time were like, yes. But Schrodinger didn't believe this. He created this thought experiment. He created this example as a way to illustrate how ridiculous the idea is. So what's funny is that like a lot of people use Schrodinger's cat as a piece of evidence to support the idea of quantum flux and shit like that. And which still may or may, you know, it's like there's a lot to it. That being said, I just find it ironic that the ridiculous, far-fetched example that Schrodinger thought up in order to try and poke holes in a dubious theory is now used as the most famous example to support that very theory due to popular, like, you know, just popular belief in widespread culture and shit. And it reminds me, like the irony of Schrodinger's cat reminds me the most of me being a kid and going to first communion class. Like
at church?
At school, because I didn't get I don't know what grade it is where kids usually get first communion for the first time. It's like second grade or something.
Yeah, I had it in side school at church. Yeah.
I wasn't there for that or something. So by the time I started quote unquote studying to take first communion,
CCD,
it was like fifth grade. Okay. I was like older, right? Yeah. I'd seen people take the what I'm talking about is Eucharist. Like you go to certain like churches and there's a part in the ceremony. There's a part right?
If you're not Catholic, like this probably sounds weird as hell. Yeah.
Yeah. They bring out crackers and wine and everybody takes a cracker and takes a sip of the wine. And the priest is like, these crackers are the body of Christ. This wine is the blood of Christ.
The idea is that it.
Yeah. So as a kid, I would look at that and not be able to participate.
Right.
And go, I understand. Gotcha. So then when I finally got to first communion class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in class, and it got to the part about transubstantiation, the name for the process of those regular store-bought crackers and wine literally becoming the body and blood of Christ.
Because that's the deal, right? The idea is that it's
literally becoming. I didn't know that. As a kid, even though I didn't have the words for symbol and metaphor and iconography, I would watch that and go like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, yeah,
it's a
representation of. Even if I didn't have the words for it, that's what I believed.
Yeah.
So that when I was sitting there in Eucharist school or class, right?
Catechism, right?
I think
is that different?
I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sitting there in class and we get to that part. I remember Sister Sarah, real cool chick. I got to that part and I was like, wait. I remember like asking her, like, so like it actually becomes, she's like, yes, they put it in the tabernacle and it actually becomes the body and blood of Christ. And I remember having the reaction of like, no, fuck, you're joshing with me. And then she's like, no, that's what it's really the body and blood. And I'm looking around and everyone's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, and I remember that I'm in my head being like, oh.
If you had a gun, you would have like been like in the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That was one of the first chinks in my that was one of the first chinks in the armor of me like shedding my Catholicism.
Donald Sutherland coming out of being
yeah. Oh, that hurt to do. And I think of that every time that I think of Schrodinger's cat, which is like you have this thing which is like a very clear and very useful metaphor for explaining something. That's a nice idea. And then someone goes, no. It's real. It's literal. The cat is both literally alive and dead. I'm like, bro. And of course, like there have been many theories since Schrodinger's cat to go on that both refute the idea of Schrodinger's cat being literal and also support the idea of Schrodinger's cat being literal. But once again, regardless of all that, I think the most interesting thing about it is Schrodinger came up with this thing to be like, look how ridiculous this theorem is. And then generations later, people think Schrodinger's cat is in support of the thing that he was kind of deriding.
Yeah.
I think that's just fascinating.
Nuts. Also, Ted.
Yes.
Remind me on the like little questionnaire that goes out with this episode to add an extra bonus field for people who actually know about quantum physics to explain to us why we're wrong. Because I'm genuinely interested in this. And I would love to have it explained to me by somebody with some sort of degree in it or something, because I feel like there's still yet more to it that we haven't even broken into here.
Well, of course.
No, but I mean, there's even another layer of misconception about it that I don't even know that we've gotten into, but I only barely remember it. But I would love to hear somebody talk to me about what's really going on with that cat.
Is he alive or what?
What does it look like? Like, what's going on in there?
Can we look in the box?
Like, if we're not looking, like, let's imagine, like, let's say I drew it, or let's say I modeled it in Maya or something. Mm-hmm. What would I make to illustrate the living and dead cat?
One of my favorite extrapolations of the theorem is like, we don't know if the cat's alive or dead. Alex, if you looked in the box and saw the cat was alive, you'd be like, it's alive, and the cat is no longer dead, it is alive, right?
Right.
Let's say the exact same scenario, but you looked in the box, but you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Is it still like, you know what I mean?
I think yes. I think there's some sort of, that's the thing about quantum physics that's fucked up, is like, it seems like we can affect it in like imperceptible, like Jedi / like chi / like it is a case for human intention that I like can't even grasp, that I don't even understand. It's fucking quantum physics to me is like, I genuinely, that is my limit of understanding. I like cannot continue to learn about it and continue to build my palace of knowledge around it, because
we're scratching, when you get to quantum physics, you get to the scratching the surface of like the boundaries between matter and energy start to blur and it becomes funky. You know?
The scientists just start like taking hits of shit and you're like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, I've never felt more like the monkey with the black obelisk. Yeah, I feel crazy about that.
Egon Spengler, man, that was his shit.
Yeah.
Quantum physics, particle physics.
Yeah, I wish he was here to tell us about.
I don't. He'd be very bad at it.
He'd be like, Schrodinger's cat's actually a creature. We have to be careful.
We saw
it'll
it.
get you. Yeah.
Like, you're fine now, but we got it.
Yeah, we took care of it.
Ray Stantz would probably be better at explaining it to us.
And that's the news. 10 years of news. Can you believe it? For our 10th anniversary.
That's a lot of news.
Amazing. And let's get into our next segment now, which I will call Cross of Tens. Except I also want to say that the cross in Cross of Tens, much like a lot of Japanese video games, is spelled with an X. Which means that, yes, this is indeed an indulgent X-Men 10 themed segment. Pretty good, right?
Oh, boy.
Oh, this is podcast X.
X10, see? Yep. Ted's putting the pieces together. He's got it. He's doing it.
So you're going to indulge yourself and just talk about X-Men?
Yeah, no, well, so I did two things. So we got House of X and we have Powers of X. So we're going to do both. So first is a personality quiz. So we decide what X-Men we are.
Oh, my God.
And then the next one is...
If your boss was being unfair to you, what would you do? Pop your claws and slash him in the face?
Use metal, your control of metal.
Oh, God.
So we have a personality quiz for the X-Men, and we have a like quiz for the X-Men. So we're going to do both. So first, let's go to the IDR Labs, which is an X-Men quiz that is based off real personality quiz questions.
Guys, I wish you could see this image of Famke Janssen.
This weird, like, DeviantArt Famke Janssen.
Oh, man, that's funny.
So weird.
Why'd they choose that?
I don't know. I think they made like a portrait for each of them. This is the IDR Labs X-Men test.
Okay, who's going to take the test? Ted?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah?
Because I already know what X-Men I am.
Yeah. You're clearly Maggot.
Yeah.
And I'm clearly one of Maggot's maggots.
Actually, you know who I am? I'm Egg.
I don't think you're Egg.
Okay, who am I?
Personality-wise?
Like, yeah, if you had to literally just like, you think Alex Faciane, you have to say one X-Men.
Personality-wise.
Like, free association, whatever strongest thing links me to an X-Men.
Come on, man.
Least amount of thinking.
No, I'm going to put some, just give me like literally 30 seconds.
Yeah, you got it.
Because I'm like going through the Rolodex.
Okay. I'm trying to think who you are. I think I know who you are, though.
Okay, you think and I'll think. We'll think of each other real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my choice. I don't even care.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, no, I'm locked in though.
You're locked in already, dude?
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm trying to think of
I don't know if you're gonna like it.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think I agree. I think I vibe with it.
I think I know who you are.
Okay.
Personality wise.
All right.
You want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
You go first.
Sunspot.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
I think you're like Sunspot.
I'll take that. I like Sunspot. I don't like where he's at right now. I don't know. I don't like what he's up to at this moment. But I like Sunspot. I'll take that. I think you're like Rogue.
Oh, what?
Or like maybe Emma.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
You like to communicate with people on a lot of different levels.
Rogue does that?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
Rogue does a lot of like teaching and also
She
like
does?
yeah. And she likes to, and she does a lot of like she's usually a leader and she's also listen, if we're talking about over 50 years, yeah, maybe not, but like in the last 20 years, Rogue is like a leadership X-Men and she meets X-Men where they are. That's her thing. I feel like that's who you are.
All right.
And I feel like you got a pedagogical thing going on. And I think in Emma's case, I feel like sometimes you have like a secret thought that you've got, but I never think it's duplicitous. I trust it to be a constructive and you like, I trust you, but you have secrets. That's how I feel.
Do you think Emma's got secrets?
She's got secrets, but she's really trustworthy.
All right.
Listen,
I don't think of Emma Frost as trustworthy, but all right.
Emma Frost 2022. Let's put her there.
All right.
Yeah. Not Emma Frost like 1971. All right, Ted.
Yes.
I am often lost in thought. You have 5. You can go strongly or regular, agree or disagree, or you can go right down the middle.
Yeah, wait, hold on. How does this work?
So you have strongly
click on it for me. Like,
yeah. You can just, there's a little thing here.
A slider?
And you can move it to
I see.
Strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly
So
agree.
here's what we're going to do, Ted. So when you strongly disagree with something, I want you to say 1.
Oh, that's good.
And then strongly agree will be 5. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then you can choose 1 through 5.
So agree is 5.
Yeah.
Strongly agree is 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then being neutral on it is 3. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am often lost in thought.
3.
What if they were all 3?
That'd be pretty good. I can fly into a rage if I'm provoked enough.
With my adamantium
5.
gloves.
5?
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I think I've got anger issues.
Huh.
I do not care much about traditional concepts of honor and loyalty.
Ooh.
5.
You do not care.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh. I prefer logic over emotions.
5.
Ooh.
By the way, I do not know how this quiz ends. I took this. I chose this one blind based on
Okay.
people saying it was pretty good. I believe in seeing the best in people.
Ooh.
3.
3. I would prefer living in one place to moving around a lot.
1.
Interesting.
I'm straightforward and open about my emotions.
4.
Huh.
Okay. I feel self-estranged more often than not.
I wonder what they mean by that.
I think I am separating myself from the group based on my own actions.
So like I feel separate, but I think I've done that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I'm going to go 4.
4? That's a Wolverine question, right? I am stubborn and rarely give up.
Because of my healing factor.
Because of my ability to smell people like a dog.
2.
I'm stubborn and rarely give up too.
2.
Okay. I give people the benefit of the doubt.
Wait, can we go back?
No.
Uh-oh. You can go back.
Yeah, you can. I'm stubborn and rarely give up.
I'm stubborn and rarely give up. Oh, 1 was disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 2 is accurate then.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay. I give people the benefit of the doubt.
4.
4.
We're on question 11 out of 35, folks.
We're getting there.
Oh, God.
I face the truth head on, even when it's painful. I like that there's 35 questions because it means they're really thinking about it. I face the truth head on, even when it's painful.
5.
Okay. I am academically inclined.
What does that mean?
Like you enjoy
Do you
academics.
like academia?
Yeah, like you do well and enjoy academics. Like school, studying, learning through school.
Oh, yeah. 4.
I struggle to find my true identity where I fit in the world. Because of my blue skin.
Right. My devil tail. And my ability to teleport from place to place.
Just because my bones stick out of my elbows.
I'll say 3.
3? You got it. I struggle with low self-confidence. The X-Men quiz putting you on blast right now.
Yeah, no
This has nothing to
kidding.
do with X-Men. We just want to get to know them.
We're going to be like, all right, thanks. And we're just not going to tell you what X-Men you are. You're Deadpool.
3. 3.5?
3.5?
3 or 4.
Should I round that up to a 4?
Yeah, let's do 4.
Okay. I often lighten the mood with a well-timed joke or one-liner.
4.
4.
I'm going to leave that at a 3. They're not well timed.
Not with you.
Only
You guys are the funniest in the room, so I always seem not funny. With all my other friends, I'm just
the king of jokes.
hilarious.
Can I hang out with your
King of
friends for a while,
comedy.
Ted? That'd be tight.
I'm the average king of comedy. Only reluctantly would I take on leadership positions.
Oh, interesting.
Only reluctantly.
Yeah.
5.
5.
Oh, wow.
Bang.
Wow.
Loves to be a
That's
henchman.
I didn't know that about Ted. That's the most fascinating one yet.
I close myself off from other people.
Oh, I'm going to say 1.
Okay.
Okay. My sense of humor can be self-deprecating. I like
5.
this. 5? Bang.
I wonder which X-Men that is. Iceman. That's Iceman.
Iceman?
That's Iceman.
Yeah.
That's Iceman.
I refuse to compromise concerning my beliefs.
Ooh.
I refuse to compromise concerning my beliefs. One?
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're like fully willing to compromise.
Yeah.
Okay. I get a kick out of interacting with others. A
Kick referring to the mutant drug.
MGH.
No. The one for mutants.
Oh. Weed. X.
Yeah.
Seed.
Just depends on my mood, honestly.
I get a kick out of interacting with others.
So 3?
So right down the middle?
Yeah, let's go 3.
But sometimes a lot and sometimes no.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel ashamed about who I am.
Holy shit.
Oh god.
Dude, that's every
Shame?
X-Men almost.
Which X-Men feels like shame?
In the movies, definitely like they talk like the ones that don't look like humans a lot talk about it all the time. But I don't know about like based on your actions.
Yeah, I don't know which X-Men is like, I feel ashamed.
Yeah.
Honestly, Wolverine a lot of the time.
Like
No jokes.
Like real talk, yeah. Like for the real reasons, yeah.
ashamed a lot of the time?
I feel ashamed about who I am. is the
Ashamed
question.
about who I am. Yeah, not a lot of the time.
Okay. 3.
3?
Yeah.
You got it?
Mhm.
I am pragmatic and unsentimental.
I'll go
All business.
3.
3. Getting there. 12 left. My immediate instincts and hunches are often correct
Ooh.
because of my psychic powers and my ability to see the future. I am Mystique's mother.
You think this is a long shot question?
Uh,
I don't know how deep this goes, but I assume based on the picture that it's going to be the movies.
That would make me really disappointed.
I'll say 2.
2. Okay. I can be impatient.
5.
5. I have a strong sense of right and wrong.
2.
2.
2.
2.
I can be forceful when I need to,
Like the force of an optic blast.
or my skin can turn to fucking adamantium or whatever the fuck.
That's
it is.
a weird. That's a like yes or no question.
I can be forceful when I need to.
It's weird.
Sometimes you can be forceful. You can say, I agree that I can be forceful, or I disagree. I can't really be forceful, but I can kind of be forceful. You know, you can kind of.
I'll go with 3.
3? Okay. I feel seen, acknowledged, and understood by my family, partner, and or close friends.
1.
1.
Wow.
Yep.
Ted, we got to talk.
Ted's
Yeah,
that dude
yeah.
from Twin Peaks.
Seen, acknowledged, and understood. Oh my God.
I sometimes feel my efforts go unappreciated because I'm invisible.
I sometimes.
Okay.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, I
I
sometimes feel my efforts
go unappreciated. Not underappreciated.
unappreciated.
Was that did you say 3 really long?
Yeah. Let's go 3. We'll go 3.
I worry excessively about what others think of me.
5.
Bang.
Wow.
You didn't
Wait,
even,
I want to just point that out. He worries excessively. That's a 5.
Yeah.
And he thinks that he goes unnoticed. Or rather,
he feels like he's unappreciated.
no, what was the one? What was the fucking one 2 ago that you did a 1 on? I feel seen and acknowledged. Got it. So you don't feel seen and acknowledged, and yet you also worry what others
He wants
think of
to
you.
be. He wants to, yeah.
Wow.
I'm dedicated and hardworking.
3.
He quits in the middle of this.
3?
I quit.
I have no
I'm done.
interest in mediating other people's conflicts.
Oh.
Other people's conflicts.
Other people's conflict.
Like getting involved and like de-escalating a fight between 2 other people, for example.
The statement is I'm disinterested.
I have
I
no
have
interest.
no interest in mediating other people's conflicts.
I have no interest. Okay, I'll go 2.
2, because you kind of do.
Yeah.
Okay. I often think interacting with others is just more trouble than it's worth.
Oh, shit. This one got me.
This is like the real personality quest.
Yeah,
questions.
these are, man.
Yeah.
This one got me. Did you read it again?
I
please?
often think interacting with others is just more trouble than it's worth.
I often think.
Mhm.
Interacting with others is just more trouble than it's worth. This is the COVID question right here.
2?
2?
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay. I am a good listener.
Acknowledged.
Acknowledged. I'll go 4.
4. Okay. 2 left. My senses are keenly alert to what's going on around me and which targets are easily killed. Just kidding. Are keenly alert to what's going on around me. My senses are keenly alert to what's going on around me.
Acknowledged.
2.
2.
Wait. What's going on? Yeah, 2.
2. Final question. I put my own needs and wants ahead of those of others.
3.
3. All right, let's find out. You are.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Okay, so first of all,
yeah. We got to talk about this.
definitely the movie because of these terrible, like painted on portraits.
This is okay.
Especially
These are only
Iceman.
movie characters. Ted, you fucking Finch straddling. You need to be able to see what this is, dude. Yeah, you need
the
to come over and
results are
see it.
like insane.
They're
You're
insane.
every X-Men. I can't. You're Legion, dude. You're
So let everybody know there are 6 characters on this, like 6,
7.
7. Thank you. There are 7 characters on this like spider graph looking thing: Cyclops, Storm, Iceman, Rogue, Wolverine, Professor X, and Jean Grey. My dude got 60% in 4 of them: Iceman,
yeah.
Cyclops, Storm, and Jean Grey, and he got 55 in the other 3: Wolverine, Professor X, and Rogue. This testament nothing.
That's
Ted.
crazy.
Yeah, nothing.
All right. So
We know
of
nothing.
Of the 4 that were your top, Jean Grey, Iceman, Cyclops, and Storm, who do you go with the most?
Go with.
Like, who do you feel?
Who do you want to fuck?
Who do you feel so kinship with? Jean Grey, Storm, Cyclops, or Iceman? Which one's you?
I mean, Iceman seems cool.
Iceman
I'd
seems
hang
cool.
out with them.
Solid
boo,
pun.
Boo.
Solid pun.
I didn't even try. I'm sorry.
How
Wait,
do
can
I-
you go back? There was like a paragraph that he had.
Back?
Yeah, can you hit back? Fuck. Well,
How do I just look at it?
no, it's gone, bro. It's gone.
No, why can't I just read the little things?
This is definitely not that page. Well, Ted, congratulations. You're nobody or everyone. It's kind of like a Schrodinger thing, you know?
I have Professor X, I have Jean Grey's here, and I have Wolverine's here. Jean's mutant powers of telepathy and telekinesis were activated when she witnessed the death of her childhood best friend.
That's true, Annie.
Because she was unable to harness or control these powers, she turned to Professor X and became his first student.
True.
Despite everything she had to go through in her youth, Jean kept a deep capacity for love, hope, and kindness, seeing the good in the world and in those around her. She is selfless and compassionate, caring for the happiness and welfare of not just those closest to her, but humanity in general. Intelligent, driven, and determined, Jean is not afraid to speak up for what she believes in. That's you, Ted, for sure.
That's it. Nailed it.
That's definitely you.
I'm sorry about your friend that you saw die when you were little.
I can't believe how down the center you were on that. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that was really disappointing.
Amazing.
Good shit.
I wish I could read just the fucking... What if I just go through it? Maybe I can get to...
Oh, you're clicking 3 on all of them right now.
yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah,
I'm just
keep going.
Might as well, right?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Basically Ted's results.
Yeah, these are...
But can I like...
You appear to have 2 or more equally prominent matches. It is possible that you are an equal fit for all those matches. On the other hand, it is also possible that you simply answer the question in such a way that you ended up with tied results. Yeah, we understand how it works. All right. Thanks, quiz. That was something.
Damn. All right. Well, there you go. Now we know a lot about Ted and very little about the X-Men. But now let's move on to the Powers of X trivia quiz because we know a lot about the X-Men. And I think between the two of us, I think I won't feel good unless we get close to 100% on this.
Is this specifically about the storyline Powers of X?
No. This is just I called one quiz House of X and one quiz
Got it.
Powers.
All right, let's see what we can do. I don't promise 100, but am I taking this? Are you taking this? Or are we
I feel like the
taking
combined powers of the Beard Bros can take this.
this? Oh, man. Okay.
Because it's just a trivia quiz.
Okay. X-Men trivia. I remember that image of Cyclops there.
All right. Number 1. Here we go. Which of these characters isn't related to Cyclops, Scott Summers? Havoc, Hope Summers, Vulcan, or Rachel Summers? The answer is Hope Summers, right? Because she's not actually a Summers.
Correct. I mean, she is. Don't take that away from her. Don't be an asshole.
It's not Summers by blood. Which of these was the first issue Chris Claremont's legendary run on the X-Men?
Which of these was the first issue Chris Claremont's? I think you forgot a little word there, buddy.
Astonishing 32, X-Men Gold 62, Giant Size X-Men #1, and Uncanny X-Men number 94. I think Giant Size X-Men #1 is there as like a trick, but I believe that he wrote in Uncanny X-Men. I don't know if 94 syncs up with Chris Claremont. Do you know the answer to this? Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Uncanny X-Men. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He wasn't, he came on after Giant Size. It was Lynn Wein who wrote the first one.
Lynn Wein. Which character hasn't been a member of Apocalypse's Four Horsemen? Wolverine, Gambit, Archangel, and Jubilee. Jubilee.
Yeah, there's a giant picture.
Yeah, why is there a picture of fucking Jubilee?
There's a giant picture of Jubilee above this question. There's a huge fucking
really
hint.
weird.
Yeah, Gambit was, I remember Wolverine was a horseman in the late 90s.
He got his hand cut off?
No, that was something different. Gambit was a horseman in like 2004-ish.
And Archangel has famously been a horseman.
Yeah.
Jubilee. Which of these characters isn't an original member of the X-Men? This is not that hard of a quiz. Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Beast? Is this a porn? I don't know what that is. All right, Wolverine. Wolverine
once again, there's a picture.
Picture?
There's a picture above this question of the person who was the answer to the question. It's Wolverine. What the fuck is this?
I wish I could like screen these quizzes before, but I like really can't
I
without
get it.
cheating.
I get it. Oh shit. Oh wow.
What the hell is this?
It's the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, but like, what is the question? Oh, here we go, dude.
Once again, scroll up. So before, this is a shitty website. So when we click the next question, guys, understand that the first thing we saw was an image of the X-Men. I immediately ID'd it as like, oh, that's the Age of Apocalypse X-Men. And then there was a couple ads, so we couldn't see the actual question. We scroll down, and it says, which of these is an X-Men storyline? I'll let you guys at home guess which storyline it is.
Infinity Crusade, Age of Apocalypse, Secret Wars, or Operation Galactic Storm? I'm going to go with Age of Apocalypse.
Oh, man. Maybe we should like not look at the pictures.
Is this going to happen every time?
All right. So the picture is Cannonball. The character Cannonball is in the picture.
That's good.
I wonder what the answer to the question will be.
Which of these characters isn't a member of the Guthrie family?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Okay, great.
Okay.
Which isn't a member of the Guthrie family?
Husk, Icarus, Cannonball, or Sunspot? Well, that's got to be Sunspot.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to somebody remembering Husk and Icarus, though.
Husk was a big deal at the X Academy for a little while. Okay.
There's a picture of Charles Xavier.
Okay.
What is the name of Charles Xavier's son? Zorn, Hellion, Legion, or Kid Omega?
So Charles Xavier's son is Legion. But his name is not Legion, right?
I mean, it's David.
Yeah.
But, you know. All right, a picture of Magneto looking all sullen.
Oh, okay.
What is the name of Magneto's clone? Oh, good stuff.
Darius.
Nobody read the names. Darius, Joseph, Richard, or Geraldo.
I'm going Geraldo on this one.
Are you being sneer?
No, I think it's Joseph. Is that right?
It's definitely Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph.
Shout outs to Jason Liebig, who was like editing X-Men comics.
How crazy was that?
Around the Joseph period.
Yeah. Dude, that guy still has a lot that we're going to get into with him. All right, here we go. Picture of Phoenix, or who is that?
Yeah, I don't know who
Some
that
Phoenix.
Is Phoenix, yeah.
Which character wasn't a member of the Phoenix Five?
Ooh.
Cyclops, Emma Frost, Magic, or Jean Grey? Now, the Phoenix Five, if I'm correct, are the Avengers versus X-Men villains, eventually villains, who like each got a piece of the Phoenix Force, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
From AVX?
Yep.
So wasn't it Jean?
Are you saying Jean is the answer to the question?
Yeah.
Correct. Jean was not a member of the Phoenix Five.
She was dead at that time.
Hey, there's an astonishing X-Men picture.
A picture of Wolverine reading Astonishing X-Men #1.
I wonder what the answer to the question will be.
While Cyclops is burning the pages like a fucking weirdo. All right. Which of these is an X-Men storyline? Annihilation, War of King.
War of King?
Days of Future Past.
That's not.
War of King is not an event. It's Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
I think I'm feeling pretty good about this quiz so far.
I'm feeling pretty shitty about this quiz.
I mean, in terms of how we're going to do on it, okay, we got some new X-Men.
Yeah.
Absolutely bizarre Wolverine and Cyclops art right here.
Where in Westchester County, New York is the X-Mansion located? Is it located in what?
What?
Was it located in Brooklyn, Manhattan, Bronx? Not the Bronx, just Bronx.
Bronx.
Or Salem Center?
What the fuck? It's not located in any of these places? Salem Center?
Is that your guess?
Like, it's not in Brooklyn, right?
Is that your guess?
I'm going with Salem Center if I'm guessing any of these.
Yeah, the X-Mansion is located in Salem Center, New York, which is in Westchester County. Yeah,
I've never even heard of Salem Center in my life. That's a deep cut. That's one. I don't know what I would have picked.
Oh, wow. I mean, you did pick it just now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if you weren't sitting here for me to bounce that off of, I don't know what I would. I might have picked Manhattan or something. I don't. That doesn't seem right, but like whatever. Considering Westchester, as far as I've seen, looks like fucking rural England. Number 12. Which character has not been a leader of the X-Men? Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, or Gambit? Gambit gets so much status outside of the comics, and I don't believe that he enjoys that status inside the comics. I would say that of these, the person who I know for sure never led the X-Men is Gambit. Right?
I mean, like, the other three are definite, so it's got to be Gambit for this quiz. And now I'm just racking my brain trying to think of any instance where he was, like, the leader of a team. And, yeah, I can't really think of one, man.
He kind of is the leader of Excalibur.
Fuck,
in, like, the
no
recent
way.
Excalibur. Like, as
Absolutely
much as
not.
anyone. Well, maybe
No
Betsy.
way.
All right. Which member of the X-Men became a host for Apocalypse?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that's different than a
horseman.
A horseman.
Yeah.
Cyclops, Wolverine, Gambit, and Archangel.
Yeah.
Now hang on a minute.
Okay.
Pretty sure Wolverine and Archangel have both been a host for Apocalypse.
Okay.
At least that's what I believe was occurring in Remender? X-Force? Can't remember.
The death seed and the life seed bullshit. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I think the answer to this question is going to be Archangel.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I disagree. I think it is definitely Cyclops.
Yeah?
Yeah, the other ones are more like his successors, right? And it was the Cyclops during the 12 story arc. That's when Apocalypse's body, he basically possessed Cyclops.
He like
body.
turns into Ensabanur, basically.
It's like his Apocalypse's spirit possesses Cyclops' body.
Weird. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah,
I defer to Brett pretty much across the board on X-Men trivia, but that was a weird question. Number 14, what did Magneto do to Wolverine at the end of Fatal Attractions?
he bought him a nice fruit bouquet.
Yeah, killed him, crushed him, ripped out his adamantium, or took control of his mind. Well, if you know one fact about Magneto, it's that he can move metal. And if you know one fact about Wolverine, it's that he's filled with adamantium.
Also filled with nice fruit after that bouquet.
Yeah.
Some nice melons.
A bouquet. I'm going to go with ripped out his adamantium, especially because you sold me this not that long ago. And I read it.
Dude, that fucking...
It's a great
that
panel.
was, I think, X-Men number 25, man. I remember being a kid and reading that. I was like, oh my God. It was so brutal.
Yeah. Still it's coming out in like kind of like globs. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah.
And Wolverine like almost dies and goes to heaven.
Yeah. That's like not an uncommon thing that happens to Wolverine, surprisingly.
He dies a lot, right?
He's like
almost
a weird like Jesus devil thing going on with Wolverine all the time.
Jesus devil thing.
Jesus devil thing. Number 15, my favorite question. Which of these is an X-Men storyline?
Uh-oh.
Civil War, Breakout, Schism, or The Man Without Fear? One is just the name, the tagline of Daredevil. Civil War has X-Men in it, but I wouldn't call it a X-Men storyline.
Sure.
Breakout was the first storyline of New Avengers.
I believe so, yeah.
Schism was when Cyclops and Wolverine like fist fought on the beach.
Right.
When that big ass monster was coming.
So sexy.
Yeah.
They were so sexy.
They were so hot when they were saying what they believed in. How many questions are this? 16. Oh, that's a sick picture of Storm. Yeah, you're right. Which member of the X-Men was part of the Marauders? Gambit, Jubilee, Storm, or Maggot? I don't know. I genuinely don't know the answer.
I'm surprised you don't know this one.
The Marauders?
Yeah.
Recently?
No.
Yeah. I haven't read that much Marauders. I'm going to guess Gambit.
Yeah, they're not talking about like, because the Marauders for most of X-Men history referred not to like the we're pirates X-Men crew.
It's a space thing.
But
right?
to no. It's Mr. Sinister's oft cloned band of cronies that were like his hit squad.
Oh.
And so Gambit was famously revealed in the mid-90s to be the one who led the Marauders into the sewers to kill the Morlocks during the famous Mutant Massacre storyline.
Are those the pink motherfuckers? The Marauders?
No. Who are you thinking about?
I don't know.
Pink?
They wear like little pink jumpers.
Are you thinking of Emma Frost's crew, the Hellions? I think you're thinking of the Hellions.
I think I am thinking of the Hellions.
No, the
Here's the
Marauders-
thing, because in current X-Men, I get them confused because now Sinister's group really recently was the Hellions instead of the Marauders.
Yeah, like that. Those two books.
Yeah.
Bafflingly have each other's titles.
Yeah.
The book that's like Sinister's Secret Wetwork Squad should have been called The Marauders.
Yeah.
And the book where it's like Emma Frost's pirates who go around saving mutants should have been called The Hellions.
Yeah. That's why I got
It's
it. I
so
always get that
stupid.
fucked. So Gambit is the answer, right?
Yeah. Gambit
Morlocks?
was the traitor. He was the traitor.
Oh,
It's a nice 70s picture of Stan Lee.
Sexy Stan.
Who created the X-Men?
Jim Lee.
It was Jim Lee.
Jim Lee in 1991 created the X-Men. Brian Michael Bendis in 2016 created the X-Men. The actual answer is not Chris Claremont and John Byrne, though you could say they saved them. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created the X-Men. Jack Kirby.
The king.
Jack Kirby, real important cat. Uh-oh.
Did we fuck? Is the quiz over?
Please don't do this to me right now.
There we go.
Okay, thank God. Okay.
Oh, he's a good one.
Which country is Storm from?
This is such a trick question.
Ghana, Nigeria, Somalia, Kenya. Trick question, huh?
In my opinion.
Well, I don't know. I would have guessed Nigeria or Kenya. But I have no idea. Ghana?
So she was born in the United States in New York to an African mother and an American father, I believe.
African national?
An African like expat mother.
Okay.
And an American father. That could be switched. I don't remember.
Sure.
They moved to Cairo for her dad's work eventually.
That's what I know.
They died in Cairo. She grew up on the streets of Cairo, Egypt. And eventually, when she became like of age, she made a pilgrimage across Africa to Kenya, where she like became like the weather goddess, and she was worshipped as like the weather goddess for years. So I'm gonna go with Kenya, but it's like a weird question, right?
Because these are really true. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna say Kenya.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kenya. I really don't know. I would have guessed Egypt if I had seen no
and
question.
that would have been a fine answer, right?
Yeah. Can you 100% this impossible X-Men quiz? Also, did you know that when she was reverted back to a child, that her and Gambit hang out for some time and became
I did know
yada
that.
yada yada.
I did know that.
All right. Yeah. X-Men. We got a picture of X-Men number 1. Which creator? Oh yeah. Look, it's actually about X-Men number 1. Which creator was behind the best-selling comic of all time?
This is also a
X-Men
fucked up
number
question.
1. Jim Lee, John Byrne, Brian Michael Bendis, and Jason Aaron. So it's Jim Lee.
They're talking about 1991's X-Men number 1, but it's fucked up to be like it was
picture?
Jim Lee, but like yeah, he was a big part of it, but to be like to not mention Claremont during this is kind of fucked up.
It's wild, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was behind? Which creator was behind me? Like,
there wasn't just one person.
I'm gonna go Jim Lee because of the cover.
It's definitely Jim Lee.
Yeah, because it's like the best.
He did the interiors too.
Did he really?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah, he did the first 11 issues of X-Men before he was like deuces.
I'm gonna go be rich, bro.
Yeah.
And he was. And now he's the boss of DC Comics, wildly. All right, we got a picture of like some...
It's X-Men Red.
A time and a place X-Men for sure. Which of these is an X-Men storyline? Born Again, E is for Extinction, Infinity Quest, and War of the Realms. War of Realms.
Not War of the Realms.
What is that? All right.
I don't know.
I think E for Extinction. Yeah. Daredevil is Born Again. Infinity Quest, I don't even know what that is. War of the Realms is some space shit. E is for Extinction.
Yep.
There
it
is.
is.
Bang. We scored 100%. You're an expert. You took on the challenge and emerged victorious. Well done. Good job, Brett. We did it.
We did do it.
We crushed it.
Man, that was indeed an extremely indulgent portion of the podcast.
Can you believe that? How great was that? 10 years, 10th anniversary. We've been around for so
extremely
long.
Indulgent podcast.
Yeah, and now as a testament to the long and storied history of this podcast, the next segment is called 10 Old Unread Replies. As you know, we've had many episodes of the podcast now go by. 10 big years.
Wow.
Of pod. And so I went back through the archives of the pod and I pulled 10 more responses to old questions that we sent out to people that I did not read on the show previously. And we're going to go through them and read them now.
Okay.
That sound fun?
Cool.
Yeah. Here we go. We can trade off reading them. You can start with this one if you want.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
The replies to old questions.
God, but like, there's no content. Cody Fleming says, if Bruce Wayne became a VTuber, would he use an anime girl or would he try to be meta and play it up as a bad Batman? I don't know what this means.
A VTuber is one of those.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I
like, would he use Batman as his avatar? No. He would. I don't think he would.
Oh God.
I don't. Number one, the idea that Bruce Wayne would become a VTuber and be like, I need to get an avatar. I don't think that's going to happen. The only time I could see him doing this is if he was going undercover to like chase some sort of speedball-esque villain.
Yeah.
And for him to do that and then be Batman,
I have to get subscribers.
Yeah. If it was
he would be like he would look like Ace the Bat Hound, like a furry fucker.
If it was Dick, he would do Batman. If it was like Tim, he would probably be Batman. But I don't know about Bruce.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cody.
That
was weird.
Next question is from Alex, who said, who would win in a fight to the death? Akuma from Street Fighter or Darth Maul? Assume base form Akuma, no Shin Akuma, Oni, etc. And canon Darth Maul, i.e. no Legends only content.
I feel like I know more about Akuma. You know more about Darth Maul.
Darth Maul is a Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
A Sith Lord? He's a Sith apprentice? I mean, in canon.
Yeah, did he ever become a Lord?
In canon, motherfucker survives the fucking drop. Gets spider legs, gets robot legs.
Tight.
Does all this shit, becomes like the head or whatever. He's in the end as Solo as like the boss of all crime for a hot second.
Tight.
And then in Rebels, he gets snapped in half in like a 1 second fight with Obi-Wan Kenobi on the deserts of Tatooine.
I've seen Akuma chop a mountain in half with one move. That was pretty sick.
So does Akuma, and this is probably like a lore question for you because I genuinely don't know what the like Shadow or whatever it's called. What is it called? The
Satsui no Hado.
Yeah, the fucking demon that's inside him. Does it give him clairvoyance?
Probably not. No.
Can he like spider sense?
No, I don't think so.
So then I got to give it to Darth Maul.
Okay.
Right? Like, I feel like they're both damn powerful. Darth Maul can like crush him at a distance and anticipate his moves.
All right.
And he's got two of those red things. And his head's all pointy. Actually, both of them have a really pointy head. Do you imagine like that type of hair from like anime to be like physically
I think there's
dense?
there's no direct translation like to that hair. There's like, it's impossible.
I just don't know what to think about it.
It's impossible.
Like if I dressed like Goku or if I dressed like Akuma, what do I do?
Right. I've seen people try and do the Goku hair and it always looks like you always look at it and go, oh yeah, the Goku. But then when you look at it, it's like it doesn't behave the way that it physically it behaves in the show.
8
because that's impossible.
8 pieces of hair the size of each a banana coming out of the top of his head.
It's impossible for it physically to behave the way you want it to.
Yeah. I think the answer is Darth Maul just purely because of the fact that he can do it at a distance and he can do it without Akuma knowing. If they're just both dropped into an arena, I still think Darth Maul has a slight edge because he can precog. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Akuma just because I've seen that dude do some wacky shit.
Yeah. It's a toss-up. I don't think it's a sure thing, but I'm going to give it to Darth Maul. Okay, next one's for you.
Astro asks, are y'all content with your jobs? Do you think being internet personalities is keeping you from something you'd like to pursue? Or are you living a fulfilling life? Jesus Christ, Astro. You want to get real? We can get real. Am I content with my job? No. Do you think being internet personalities is keeping you from something you'd like to pursue? No. Or are you living a fulfilling life? No. The answer is no all the way across.
Yeah, I mean, I think being content with your job in our line of work is kind of a mistake. I mean, like, it'd be great to like feel like I'm achieving my life's work at all times, right? Or that I'm like safe and secure with my job. But, part of the idea of being like an entertainment host is that like every single thing that we do as a job or anything that we try as a business venture is not predicated on like the institutions that exist, like taking us under their wing and paying us a reliable amount of money to do something. It's all us sort of putting ourselves out there. And so the question of, are y'all content with your jobs? Like, Super Beard Bros is not what I think I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Right.
But I probably am going to be doing this for the rest of my life. I'm probably going to be some sort of internet waif forever. And I don't hate that. I don't hate the idea of putting myself out there on the internet in some way for the rest of my life, or at least as long as I need to make money. But yeah, I don't know. Is it keeping me from something? I think that the dream of somebody like us, maybe, and I can't speak for Brett even, but like just doing this for a decade, like I feel like the dream is to find the balance where you have a gig that is allowing you to enjoy yourself and do things that are fulfilling to you, and that a lot of the, other than money, the thing that we use to make our decisions, business decisions in life, is probably, everybody's is a little different, but I think like that's it. I don't know. Like, I look at my job as beyond working at TOVG. I think of myself as just like a guy who does this. In that case, yes. At TOVG, no, I'm not like at the end of my road, happy I could do this forever vibes yet. No, definitely not.
That's a hell of a question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Astro.
Thank you, Astro. Axt asks, wow, that was a hard one. Axt asks, which author's interpretation of Batman is your favorite? That's a good question.
Yeah. Who writes the best Bat?
I don't know who writes the best Bat.
Maybe I'll go with Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb? That's pretty solid. That's like an all-timer. My instinct is to say like Frank Miller. Because I really love a couple of his comics, but I don't love there's a few that I really love, but then he goes into another world where I don't love it as much. But I do love All-Star Batman by Frank Miller quite a bit. I think that's like hilarious. If that was the only Batman there was, it would be like a disaster, but I love that it existed. I guess I'm going to go with Grant Morrison. Yeah, I'm going to go with Grant Morrison. I really love the like wacky James Bond psychedelic Batman. I dig that. Kind of like a serious version of 60s Batman. I vibe on that.
Thanks for asking, Axed.
All right, one for you.
Bruce Wayne asks, in Australia, we have a lot of toppings. My go-to is either meat lovers, hot salami, ham, bacon, diced chicken with extra cheese, or spaghetti, literally pizza base, pizza sauce with spag on. Dude, come on. Please write out the whole word. I'd never want to have to read or say the word spag in my life again. And spag on top of and cheese. Carbs overload, I know, but it's so good.
Spaghetti pizza?
That's some weird shit, man. I'm okay on that.
Spaghetti pizza? I want to put that in my mouth. I want to bite one bite of it, but I wouldn't even plan on eating a whole slice.
Yeah, I don't want like extra carbs on my carbs. It'd be like to me, that feels like taking like Cheesecake Factory bread for the table, like a piece of that bread that everyone gets.
Yeah.
Just putting that on top of a slice of pizza. I don't want that. You know what I mean? No, shout outs to you though, Bruce Wayne. Enjoy that shit.
No roasties on Australian pizza toppings, but maybe the spaghetti is like a little bit and it gets crispy. I don't know. I can't make my mind work. I can't wrap my mind around it. But I'm not yucking anybody's yum. Go fuck yourself up. I don't care. It seems like you enjoy it. I don't know.
They do enjoy it. Yeah.
Get fucking carved out, bro.
Spag.
Yeah, spag. Oof. That's like everybody but us. The spag bowl. That's like a big deal. Doesn't that suck?
I saw someone make pancake spag the other day.
Pancake spag?
What the fuck is
like drip your batter into like
noodles?
Strands and kind of noodles almost
like spatzel,
and that's how you cook it.
Okay,
and then you just have it in a bowl and like put your syrup on it and
Look, this is fine. Just can we call it spaghetti?
Like eat it like breakfast spag.
Can we stop?
I wouldn't call it spaghetti or spag if it's made of pancakes. Number 6 is from Martin. I can't say the top 5 because I have way too many blind spots, but this is my top 5. Number 1.
Top 5 movies, it looks like?
Yeah. No, this is 90s movies. 90s movies.
90s movies.
Number 1, Jurassic Park. For 90s blockbusters, JP takes it. Saw it in the cinema as a re-release a few years ago, and it's still impressive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jurassic Park, to me, is one of the greatest movies ever made. 2, The Lion King. Easily the best Disney animation for me. I love that it was supposed to be the B-team movie, but has become one of the most beloved animated movies. And the music. First soundtrack I ever bought on cassette fades to dust. Shit, I was talking to that person and now they're dead.
I'm old too. I get it.
I loved. I remember when I bought the DVD of it at like Costco one time because it was like that time when movies would get like not just the DVD but it'd be in like a slip case and there'd be a 2-disc and a book and shit.
Sure.
And it was like the guy that they got to do all the lyrics for the songs was like a parking lot attendant nearby, and he just like got his friends together and they like did the choir and did the whole situation.
You're telling me that the choir that we hear on the soundtrack of The Lion King is just some like random dudes from a parking lot?
Well, you know how America is where like you'll be like talking to somebody and they'll be like, in my home country, I'm a doctor. Like this guy is like a music guy, but in the context of the Disney animation, he was like, they found him because he was working a parking lot and they like brought him in and like,
all right.
Like I'm talking out of my ass from a documentary I saw 15 years ago, 20 years ago, but that always blew my mind.
Wow.
Number 3, Pompoko. Often overlooked in favor of Miyazaki's Ghibli movies, but Isao Takahata's Pompoko holds such a special place in my heart. For those who haven't seen it, it's an animated faux documentary about magical tanuki and it's bonkers. I love it. I actually love this movie. I would never put it on my top of the 90s, but it's a delightful film that you should go see in the theater if you have a chance. Number 4, Wayne's World, one of my all-time favorite comedy movies. Sometimes feels more a series of skits than a traditional movie, and I love it for that. It's also strangely just as relevant in the YouTube age as it was in the public access TV days.
What a strange statement.
That's actually true. Like, they would totally be Twitch streamers if they did that movie today.
I agree with what you just said, but that's not how I interpret that last sentence. That's interesting. Okay. I love Wayne's World, yeah.
It's so weird how many people were like, Wayne's World, because I just never even think of it. Like, to me, they're from like another era, but that's because I was a kid in the 90s, I think.
We got $5,000.
Number 5, The Matrix, my favorite sci-fi action movie of the decade. Everything about it was so insanely cool and easily has to be in the contest for most influential movie ever.
You might be right about that.
Let's take like Star Wars. Maybe is the other one. I don't even know.
I mean, like, is The Matrix the most influential movie ever? I seriously doubt it. Is it on the short list of like 10?
Yeah,
probably
100%.
Like I'd be
100%.
I'd be willing to put money on that.
I put it in the top 3. Like legit.
I don't know about that. Like I'd have to. My point is, I have to think about that.
My point is, let's all shout out that moment when Neo hits the glass really unceremoniously right after he does the little swing, like right after he does that sick move where he like saves Trinity. She jumps out of
after the helicopter. Yeah.
And he just like
when he like slings into the glass, the side of the building. Yeah,
I don't know if that was like a joke that they wrote into the storyboards, or if that was just like a funny thing from when they were shooting, great.
Am I the only one who thinks that the actor that played Tank is really attractive?
No.
Like, just a good-looking guy?
He looks like a Jackson to me. He looks like he's in the Jackson 5.
I can kind of see it.
He has like the look. He looks smooth as hell.
I got you.
You don't see it?
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Dozer does not look like his brother.
They do look a little bit different, but you know what happens.
Yeah. Number 7.
It's from Luciano. I think we're probably not going to see other civilizations in our lifetimes. We have our own bubble we can see, and our bubble isn't big enough to overlap with any other potential bubbles. We need to expand our bubble in order to reach other life. Unfortunately, I think I agree with Luciano. Yeah.
That's like the analysis of somebody who plays like many 4X games. Is the way that was like articulated. I like that.
Thanks, Luciano.
Very, very visual. I enjoy that. I think maybe I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
I don't know. The government's been wigging me out lately with UFO stuff, but I still don't like believe. I'm Mulder, dude. Number 8 from RJ. Hey man, pretty games aren't better games. I think we need to take a step back and remember when games were fun and not trying to push the 4K envelope. I feel like we're drifting away from gameplay in favor of spectacle. I'm not saying great games can't be pretty. I'm just saying let's focus on the fun before seeing how many hairs I can count on my character's ass when he bends over to pick up the objective I have to get to point B.
Going in, okay.
Put some thought into your games. That's why indie is skyrocketing the last few years. Games for gamers, by gamers, not big companies trying to prove they can look bigger budget than the last one.
That last part just sounded a little too rhetoric for me. But like, I agree. Like, yeah, I do appreciate the gameplay more than the way it looks.
Yeah, I gotta like pour some like reality aid on this just a little bit.
Reality aid.
Yeah, just a little. Like I think there's a misinterpretation going on here of like who chooses what. Because like when you meet a developer, and I've met a lot of developers now that I've done this for so long, it's always a gamer. It's always somebody who cares about the game they're working on. It's always somebody who's skilled, and it's always somebody who's doing their best to make the best game they can make. Pretty much 98% of the time, the developer is awesome and is trying to make a great game. The problem is, and the difference between indie games and AAA games, I think the biggest one is that when you are making an indie game, even when you're making an indie game, there's somebody who has the money that's trying to control you. But when that's EA versus like a guy, it's a lot easier when it's a guy. And I think like, you know, it's a comic book conundrum of like a comic book is written by like one dude, like one person draws it, one person colors it, one person letters it. Even if you have like an inker and a couple other colorists or another person, you're under 10 people in one comic book and you're getting like a nice focused story. And when you look at, you know, a Disney Plus miniseries, there's a lot more hands on it. I think that's more the issue than people that work at AAA studios not giving a shit about what they're doing. So I agree, but I got to pour a little reality aid on that. Number 9.
Mary McCormick says, physical releases should have more care put into them than they currently do. You used to get manuals with story info, controls, maps, and a notes section. Some games would come with bonus items / features that were part of the game experience, like Meryl's codex number being hidden on the back of the disc case.
Metal Gear Solid.
I recognize that. I know people tend to go more digital these days, but all the more reason to make the physical copies special.
I think I want to pour some reality aid on this too.
Oh man, you got a whole crate.
Like, yeah, but here's the deal. Like, am I smoking pot? Like, okay, well, yeah. Okay, am I smoking crack? Because I feel like this is what's going on with physical releases right now in a big way. Like, most games get bought digital, so when people do buy a physical game, like what's the name of that company? Why can't I think of it? The one where they make like limited run games, or something like that, where they like the very idea that the game is getting a physical release is like predicated on the fact that it's going to be like done with care and come with a manual and have like a box and like feelies built in, like
feelies.
Yeah, feelies, man.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm going a little archaic with my terminology there, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this notion that they just read is like very much like, I feel like in general, we as a shopping and producing community agree with this notion. And that any physical release that you would buy today is, unless you're buying like, you know, the top game, which they're trying to cut every dollar that they can because it costs $400 million to make the game. Like you're going to get a great physical copy. Yeah. All right. Number 10 from Jason.
Oh my God. Jason wrote a fucking story, bro.
I'm not much of a risk taker, even though, as many a friend has told me since I'm a teenager, I should be butt chugging beers like Alex does.
What?
You know, you say one thing 8 years ago. And
did you butt chug a beer?
I did.
How old are you?
I was in my 20s, 22, 23.
So I knew you?
Yeah.
And I didn't see this?
No, it was at like, I was pretty gone, long gone.
Fuck, man, I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but I totally did it. And I don't just do it whenever I crack open a beer.
How did you, did you like,
like a
I'm
cake?
sorry for this derailment.
Okay,
but,
no, it's okay.
Did you,
like, okay, you know, cake stand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do a cake stand, and I did it literally on a keg. And then I was like, pour that shit in my butt.
Who do I know that helped you?
Just a couple people in my band.
So no one I knew was around?
No college team, no, yeah. It was just...
So you're telling me you were doing a cake stand and sucking up the beer from below you?
From above me. I was upside down. Because I was doing a cake stand.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then you were like, fuck my mouth, I don't want that.
We were like doing bits and I was being crazy and...
how did they put it in your butt?
Doom.
Just put the tube in there.
Just take it off. No, not the tube. The bottle.
Bing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just right on in.
And it worked.
I don't know that I got it all in. I definitely made a mess and I was in my underwear, but like it went in.
Put that shit up my butt.
Let's go.
Let's continue with what Jason has
it was like
to say.
a no think, it was like a no think heat of the moment party decision that I've done it.
I don't think you had to tell me that you weren't thinking. I kind of put that together.
I mean, I wasn't like, finally, today's the day that I get to put beer up my butt.
Maybe you were.
Just like the Jackass guys, my
Maybe
heroes.
You were.
I should be butt chugging beers like Alex does. However, I'm pretty notorious for having a clean record, ain't ever done drugs, drank alcohol or anything, which is why my mom is usually super lenient about me going and doing stuff with my friends, which is why when I asked her if it was okay if my friend who just got his driver's license to go watch the new Batman film, she was quick to agree. However, she had one stipulation, which was don't bring any other friends with you because you know where we were both teens, and it's illegal to have more than one teenage friend in the car when you're a teen driver. This is when I sort of kind of didn't tell my ma that two other friends were already coming. Did we do this?
Keep going.
So we go out to the movie, and like I said before, I don't drink, and neither do my friends, so it was just a chill movie night with the boys. We watched the movie, it was amazing, and we were on our way to drop off one of our friends to his apartment, which was near the theater in the city we were in.
Okay.
This friend we were dropping wasn't really my friend, but a friend of my best friend who kind of just invited himself. I was a little antsy about
Oh boy.
I was a little antsy about it because they were an avid Trump supporter who thinks the election was rigged and defended the people who stormed the Capitol. But nonetheless, he was an overall funny guy who rarely brought up politics, so I didn't care.
Okay.
On the way home, this guy was in the passenger seat and just started going crazy, yelling, trying to grab my friend's steering wheel and even taking a video of all of us in the car, which he thankfully deleted. But he was being such a pain in the ass that my friend who was driving drove into a curve on the highway, which is where Google Maps told him to go. But that road was one way, so we had to stop and back out. But the guy in the passenger seat was being such a lunatic, the driver didn't see the oncoming car going about 60 miles an hour. He narrowly stops and avoids it, which if he didn't stop, the car would have slammed right into my side of the car, which almost for sure would have killed me. Safe to say, we didn't take that guy with us to any more movie nights, and we get our rides from a much more experienced driver who's a senior at my school. Anyways, appreciate y'all reading this, and have a great day.
Signed, Holden Caulfield.
Thank you, Jason Liebig
Thank you, Jason.
From Nostalgia
That
Hunters.
was incredible.
That was not from Jason Liebig. That was from Jason.
That was literally like reading one of his fucking asides. Like, this guy was a phony. Man, he kills me. They always kill me.
That was insane.
Thanks, Jason. Fuck.
Since I'm a teenager, I should be butt chugging beers like Alex does. You should slap whoever told you that.
Yeah, I feel like that's him inside his own head right there.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for our 10th anniversary question recap.
Nice.
So now let's move into the final segment of our show, the Fan Q&A. Last week's question was, what do you think the Super Beard Bros could do to get even more famous and successful?
Right.
I put this to you to see what your guys' level of literacy was with the YouTube space, what you guys think about what you see when we do it and stuff like that, just to get a sense. I don't expect you guys to have like genius ideas.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if any of these breach outside the walls of SEO stuff.
Right?
If it does, that's the one I'm like, it's like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
All right, you want to take the first one?
Okay, this is from Miss Diz. Miss Diz says, maybe collabs with other YouTubers? Question mark. I mean, I know you can't just do a video with Markiplier, although that would be dope and probably really help the famous part. Winky face. But cross-pollinating subs with other YouTubers of similar fame, size, idic. I'm no expert, just a thought, I guess. Piss, I love your thumbnails. Jetpack does an amazing job, and there's always some great detail that I find like 25 episodes into a series. And I know the whole clickbait thumbnail thing is supposed to help, but please don't. That's real. Jetpack always does really good fucking work.
Yeah, that's crazy that he does. It's like really a unique thing.
He's very good. And collaborating is that definitely would help.
Collaborating does work. But I will say that back in the day, when we were younger and still trying to find an audience,
I thought you were really going to do it.
What?
I thought you said back in the day when... I thought you were going back in the day when I was young. I'm not. I thought you were going to go right into it, man. I got really excited.
No, I literally meant back in the day, like when we were like sub 10K, we did collabs quite frequently, and we try and get people on the show and buff it up and stuff. And every once in a while we still do, but yeah, I think you're right. Like I think we could get people on the show more. Mm-hmm. But they're really
kind of tough in the COVID era. We're still just like learning how to not be COVID people.
There's also not really the Let's Play scene that there was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We kind of like
the people we would be inviting wouldn't be people that do what we do. They'd be other people.
We kind of just like lived through that. Now we kind of like our antique style of YouTube channel. But
we're the Jenny after the fucking storm. We're the only shrimping boat left out there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of the vibe, and we're scooping up all those shrimp, baby.
Am I Lieutenant Dan or are you Lieutenant Dan?
No, yeah, you're Lieutenant Dan. I'm
You're Forrest?
No, I'm what's his name?
Bubba?
Yeah.
You died?
Yeah.
So who's Forrest? Ted?
Ted, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, I said if you ever ran your own YouTube channel, and I would come and I would be your editor.
Ice cream.
I'm here. Ice cream, Brad. I got you. That's the difference between me and Lieutenant Dan. I'd be pretty mad about fucking losing my legs, but I would have tore up that ice cream. I don't give a shit.
Dude, I would have been all about the ping pong, honestly. All right, next one's from Joe Zapp, who says, I would say playing the most current or popular games. Mm-hmm. Some other things I've noticed with other channels is how they design their thumbnails and how they name their videos.
Yep.
Not to kiss ass, but you guys provide solid content.
Thank you.
The only thing I would want is longer videos, but I understand why you want to keep them in the 20-minute range. Mm-hmm. You guys may not be the biggest channel, but it has one of the biggest souls.
Yeah, we do eat a lot of souls.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is like, thumbnails and playing current stuff. It's like
they're right.
Absolutely in a way, they're right. But like, okay, like for example, like thumbnails, if you change it to look like everybody else's thumbnails, now we are equal to everybody who has these thumbnails, except we're way smaller than them. So we're just going to plummet in the rankings. And same thing with playing popular games. Like if we played Splatoon 3, or if we played the big fighting game when it came out or whatever, like our fans would enjoy it because they like to watch us play games. But new fans will never come see us play a game out of nowhere over going to go watch, who did they say just a second ago? Markiplier or whoever else or like a Twitch streamer is playing it right now live who they can go talk to. So it's actually hard to compete with those people. Like now that there are like gamers that do Let's Play content or streaming content and they have 5 million subs or whatever, it's like almost like a bad call. I don't know for sure, but it feels like it might be a bad call. I don't know. I just hate that like our success like is more than how good our videos are, seems to be, even in the eyes of our audience, based on how well we play like a very, very poorly designed MMO where the people who made it don't even know the rules.
Wow.
Here's one for you.
Martin says, real talk, I have no idea, because even in just the scope of being on YouTube, everything I see that is famous or successful is garbage.
Oh, shit.
Even in just the scope of the video game sphere, the most popular people just seem like asshats that overreact, whooping and hollering at literally anything, or snarky jerks that love getting reaction out of people and being divisive.
Oh!
Even channels that I watched for a long time devolved into producing videos with big wet-eyed reaction face thumbnails.
Jesus.
My nigga said wet-eyed reaction face thumbnails. And covering YouTube bait games that are popular with the algorithm for some reason. I think the key for a lot of these people's success is the age of their audience. They did things that attracted a lot of young people and impressionable children, from playing Minecraft to making exploitative creepypasta lore videos. Those kids then grew up with their parasocial best friend and became part of their legion of fans defending them when they say the N-word, hard R optional, despite looking like the most default white man ever. Damn!
Shit.
Then he says, so Idic, maybe try that. Damn, Martin.
That is, I love, is wet-eyed the like white version of Black Mega Man eyes?
I don't know what he means, but hold on.
I know exactly
Even
what he
channels that have watched development and producing videos with big wet-eyed reaction. See, I think that's wide-eyed and like mouth agape, right?
No, but he's literally talking about you Photoshop the eyes to look like you're like crying? And you're like, and your eyes are like doing that wibbly, like you're about to cry anime eyes.
Yeah, I do hear what Martin's saying though, because like I'll see that. How do I put this? I'm going to say something that is at a high risk for putting me on a soapbox and like going into a tangential rant, but I'm going to avoid that.
On a podcast? You better be careful.
I know, right? But I'm going to avoid that. I'm just going to say the thing. I spend a lot of time on YouTube scrolling, and nowadays, if I see one of those thumbnails where it's just like a background, maybe the subject that they're talking about, something that's actually relevant, but then like a huge part, probably like at least half of the thumbnail is dedicated to like the person who made it. It's like just their face.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether they're making that silly wet-eyed face or not, if it has their face on it, I probably don't want to see it. And it's kind of the same reason that like I don't dig on VTubers or honestly like people's like Twitch pages where like it's like their face covers up so much of the screen. Because I keep asking myself the same question I have been for years, and I still don't have a really good answer. When people have like their face up on like the Twitch or on their YouTube,
like
or
face cam?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or let's say it's like a produced video, right?
Sure.
And let's say the face cam, let's put that aside for a second.
Okay.
Let's say it's just like, let's say someone's making a video about the history of jump arcs in platformers, right?
Yeah.
When someone like keeps cutting to themselves talking, like, because most of the video is them talking, that's fine, right?
Sure.
They've written this thing, they've done their research, and they're showing like entertaining and relevant footage to what they're talking about a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But every time they cut back to themselves, I'm thinking to myself, why? Like, what? Like, was there no...
Yeah, it's not like they're like at a place giving a talk or something. Like they're not being professionally interviewed.
You could have selected more relevant footage to make your entire art project more dense and more entertaining. But instead, like, people keep cutting back to themselves. And I'm like, why? So... that's the same way I feel about the thumbnails. Like when I see someone have a thumbnail that's like jump arcs in video games, and half of it is like a picture of like old school Mario jumping and then Sonic jumping beneath him. Mm-hmm. But then the other half is someone's like face being like this with like their the fucking the index finger on the chin, like contemplative. That shit to me, that shit is like the equivalent of a laugh track.
Yeah.
Like you were trying to tell me how I should feel. And it's unnecessary, and it kind of insults my intelligence.
They're trying to get viewed.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because that's literally not natural. Nobody wants to do it.
My point is like, I get why they put it in the thumbnails. Like we all know about the algorithm game.
Yeah.
The point I was making is that I think it's unfortunate. And every time I see one of those thumbnails, I'm just moving on at this point. Yeah. I'm moving on.
Martin seems angrier than me, but I agree with Martin. Is that strange? I do. I just pretty much unequivocally agree with what they're talking about here.
Well, thanks, Martin.
Call me grumpy, but it's true. All right, one for you.
TK, well, I read the last one.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
TK said, sponsor an esports team and player, partner with the beard product company, decry NFTs publicly in a well-timed tweet.
So TK has done it.
He's honestly like 6 months behind.
TK is the first person telling me some shit that doesn't have to do with SEO.
Yeah, that's true.
Like sponsoring esports, that I'm like, whoa. Didn't think, like there's no way we're gonna do it. But I never thought of that.
If this was an interview for like a person, like a producer or like a marketing person, this is the only person who has any suggestions on here that would be like not thrown out immediately at a meeting so far.
And I think it's important to say everything that everyone has said so far, they're not bad ideas.
No,
they're good ideas. They make sense. But like, I'm just already very aware of SEO.
They're kind of not actually about us. They're kind of just like displaying like a simple understanding of how YouTube worked 5 years ago.
I still think they're good. All of them are like, yep, that would probably get us more views.
Play current games. I genuinely don't. I think it would actually hurt the channel, for example. It seems like it would help, but we're not famous enough for that to help. Like Jirard, it would help on The Completionist because he's got that plus million.
Decry NFTs publicly in a well-timed tweet.
Yeah, maybe it was last year. You know, like I don't even know that anybody next year will remember what NFTs are. Like if you're 7 years old, you will never know what an NFT is today. Yeah. Thank you, TK. Sponsoring an esports team and player would be so funny for us to do as the Super Beard Bros specifically.
That's funny. Yeah.
We should really do that. That's a great idea.
Here comes one from Larry D. If it was the late 90s, early 2000s, I'd say invest in infomercials. I guess the modern equivalent would be a viral ad campaign that would run as commercials on YouTube or Twitch.
Viral.
The bumpers in front of the Beard Bowl vids are great. So maybe expanding upon them as self-contained ad spots, I think may help.
That's the first person I've ever read in a suggestion to the Super Beard Bros that was like, put more ads. I mean, not wrong, I don't think, but I feel like we're more communicative with our audience than many YouTube channels in a weird way.
Thanks, Larry D.
Yeah, thanks, Larry D. This next one is from Usagi, who says, work with popular YouTubers who have a tight-knit community, such as the Runaway Guys, game theorists, etc. Once exposed enough, get sponsor deals and stream on Twitch more frequently. This is like the most generic advice that we could have gotten. But it's funny because the Runaway Guys, Emil, I did do a collab with some time ago, and he came to be on Beard Bros 2. Game Theorists, I worked at Game Theorists for a long time, and I did do a collab with them on both the decks and on Completionist. And when I did it for the decks, he tripled the size of my channel overnight.
The Game Theory?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But this was like a different time.
Sure.
This was like 2013 when you could have 30,000 subs when you go to sleep and wake up with 95,000 because he said, click the link. Right. That does not happen anymore.
Right.
But yeah, once exposed enough, get sponsor deals and stream on Twitch. Yeah. It's funny because we're at a point right now where I'm actively turning that stuff down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because the vibe is like nobody wants to see ads. But some people want to see ads in a way that it makes their streamer seem legit. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird dichotomy there. Yeah. But yeah, that's the last one. Thank you guys so much for replying to that admittedly kind of strange and out of the box question. I appreciate that.
I think they're all pretty much, me personally, I think they're all pretty much on point. Like, yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for replying, y'all.
I think I've learned that there is not a great untapped genius amongst our comment section that can rescue our channel single-handedly.
I don't know, man. Esports.
Dude, that's actually not a bad idea. If we had some money, I would do that right away.
If we had some money, we wouldn't ask this question.
But if we did it with no money, it'd be kind of funny too.
I don't know how you sponsor someone with no money.
Well, like you give them some, but like you pay them.
You give them some of the money that we don't have.
Like we have some money, right? Like we can like be in office, but like
you have some money.
Like yeah, but compared to like what the budget is for an esports athlete by any metric, I don't think we have that.
Got it. So the money that we have, like that little bit, let me have it.
Yeah, just give it to you.
Let me have it.
Yeah. Let me have it.
Let me have it.
It's like in Monty Python when they're like psyching that guy up because he's going to eat a church. He's just going to eat a whole church and they're like promoting it. And he's like, well, they're going to try. He's getting ready. He's training. And then he just goes to bite the church and he just like breaks his teeth. Or he's about to jump the English Channel. He just jumps in the water and they're like, oh, next time.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, next week, we have one last thing that we got to do. We have a question for next week. And we're going to all answer it right now. 10th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
10 long years.
10 long decades.
What are some pieces of media that you've experienced 10 times or more?
Oh, man.
And in as much detail as possible, why?
Tons.
What's something that what media have you watched or played or listened to over 10 times?
Just tons.
What's one that comes to mind?
I've watched fucking Ghostbusters so many times.
And why?
It's part of my childhood.
What do you get out of it when you turn it on now? Like happiness?
Ooh. No. Bittersweet. Like a nice... Watching Ghostbusters now for me is like visiting with an old relative.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, I feel that.
Yep.
I feel that. I think there's some things that I've watched 10 times that I don't even know why I've watched them 10 times. Like, there's movies that I have owned, like The Lost World or Shrek 1 or The Mummy 2. Movies like that they just happened to find their way into my bedroom when I was like 12 years old. And then every night I would watch a movie. And so it was sort of like that thing that we don't have anymore in society where kids didn't have access to stuff. And you just...
Whatever you had, you did a lot.
Yeah, like more than once.
Yeah, I feel that.
I've been playing the Devil May Cry games recently. And it's funny because as I get older, and this is maybe just a me thing, I don't know how widespread this is, but I find that games that are hard or challenging or like that require a lot of effort on my part, sometimes like I don't want to play them because I'm like daunted by the idea of working hard while I'm playing my video game. And maybe I'd rather opt for something like, you know, a little bit more popcorny, like a Fall Guys type scenario or like a coin op type game where there's no stakes, right? But playing Devil May Cry this time, I told myself I was going to do everything but Dante Must Die mode pretty much. So I've played the first Devil May Cry. I beat it 5 or 6 times. And then same thing with Devil May Cry 2 on both Lucia and Dante's quests. I beat each side like 2 or 3 times each. And you get a different relationship with the game, even when it's hard after doing it a couple times like that. Like once you put the time in, you start to feel like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, you know, like when we used to be at the Comedy Sports Theater all the time and you'd like put your feet up and you could like hide something somewhere and you just felt like it was your place.
Yeah, familiarity.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah. I feel at home in the game after you played a few times, and you don't really get that if you just play it once.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Really something that I love to chase. Also, The Fifth Element I've watched 10 times. And the reason the reason is because I wish that I lived in the world of The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
And I watch it just to get the feeling of that world.
For sure.
I don't even care about anything about the plot. Ruby Rhod is one of the best character acting performances that's ever been put on film.
Kaboosha!
But yeah, I've watched it 10 times. Let us know what some of your 10 timers are.
Ted?
Oh yeah, Ted, what's yours?
I think it's Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Whoa,
shit.
Like the whole trilogy?
Yeah.
Oh, more than 10 times?
Gotta be.
I know it's close.
Why?
I love those films.
Do you
Okay.
I
watch
think they're so beautiful,
Can I ask-
so amazing.
All right.
Do you watch the shorties or the longies?
Long ones.
Yeah.
And I watch like lore videos. And with me and my mom, we watch like all the like DVDs special, like extra
Shout-outs to
footage
Ted's
and
mom.
shit.
That's how we do. That's how we get this channel huge. I'm gonna bring on Ted's mom.
The new beard bro, Ted's mom.
Yep. Yep.
They'll be like, technically she doesn't have a beard, so okay.
One time she made me a beard with her hair, so does that count?
That's pretty much the same thing. Can I ask you a question then, since I've got you here and you're a diehard Lord of the Rings fan?
Of course.
I found that recently when watching the trilogy, that the extended edition of the first movie is by far the best extended edition because it adds so much extra to the movie.
I think it probably does add the most like important extra scenes.
Feels like a different movie.
Yeah. Like they build up Boromir so much better.
Yeah, and the
extended.
Shire. And the Shire too. There's so much more in the Shire. Lots more to that weird dinner. Anyway, point is, folks, go watch the extended edition of The Fellowship of the Ring. Oh, God. Ted loves it. We love it.
That was the point of this podcast.
Shout outs to the X-Men. Shout outs to the number 10. Shout outs to Grover. Thank you guys so much for listening. Go to patreon.com/superbeardbros if you want to answer the questions. I would love to hear from more than just the 21 people that always answer. I'd love to get some responses.
Those 21, they're fucking tight.
Yeah, I love you guys, but I'd love to get some more responses. I know you're out there. I know you're listening. So get in there, get posting, and let us know because we want to put some more names on this list. I would love to next time for our next 10th anniversary. I'd love to pull some even older questions. So thank you guys so much for listening. I've been Alex.
My name is Brett.
I've been Ted.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you guys again for hanging with us.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.